When you work with people, there has to be a certain level of respect for the other person's expertise and what they bring to the table. You don't lose anything by trying different ideas. You lose by not trying. You lose by not hearing the other person's perspective. The more open we can be, the better off our project will be.
What's up, everyone? Jake here, your indie VFX guy, and today I've got a great conversation with first-time filmmaker Ivy Vale. We talk about creating the animations and visual effects for her independent film, Out of My Comfort Zone, and we learn how she brought her story from Off Broadway to the big screen. But before we get into the interview, if you want to learn more about how you too can save both time and money in post-production, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, render me a like and let me know you want to see more interviews like this. With that, let's catch up with Ivy Vale. Ivy, so good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Jake, it's so great to see you.
I'm so glad we're doing this. It was an awesome experience working on your film. First, congrats on all the success it's been seeing. You've made an incredible film that really speaks to the experiences of a lot of people, young people in particular. Tell me a little bit about the response the film's been receiving as it's been doing its festival circuit.
We've had an amazing response, getting into some good festivals. We've been winning all kinds of awards. It's been really exciting. Now we're just hoping for the film to sell. That would be the next thing. But we're still on the festival circuit right now.
Well, that's fantastic. And it may come as a surprise to a lot of people. This is your first film. Can you tell me about your experience? In what ways might it have been different than what you expected, or was it exactly what you expected?
It was not a lot like I expected. I now call myself an accidental director. Out of My Comfort Zone, which is the name of the project, began as a stage musical off Broadway in 2015. And I was very, very hands-on in that. I wound up co-directing a second run of it, learning a little bit about directing. Of course, directing for the stage is not like directing on set. But when you surround yourself with a lot of talented people who are there to help you, I leaned on them, I asked questions, but I also, first and foremost, and this I think goes for most things in life, I asked myself, what do I want to see? What do I want to see happen? What do I want to see from the actors? Is it working? And there was a lot of learning on the job. And I wound up somehow directing the film. We always thought there was going to be somebody else who was going to come along, and our company to come along. That did not happen. And we really couldn't wait. Our cast is made up of 16 teenagers, and they were rapidly growing and aging. And we wanted to do this with kids who were the right age, not having 20-somethings playing teenagers. So
now there's a visual effect you don't want to have to do is age reduction.
That's right. That would be a bit challenging. It was just an incredible learning experience. And I had to keep trusting myself and trusting, again, the talented team around me. And somehow we wound up with this film. And I'm pretty happy with it, I have to say.
One thing that I really appreciated about working with you as we developed the animation and the visual effects is you gave us quite a long leash to do and come up with a lot of creative looks for the film. As the creative yourself, do you find it productive to allow other creatives to do what they do?
Definitely. And also, let's just, rewind a second to the first time you and I were on Zoom and you were showing me just some sketches and ideas. Once I saw the creativity that you were contributing, just from the things that we had talked about, we could do this, we could do that. And then when you brought some samples, what can I say? I loved it. And I was like, I know this is going to work. I know we're going to be compatible. It felt so organic again. And just the process of working together was so easy. It was a pleasure to work with you. And I feel like if something didn't work, we resolved it so quickly. I felt very fortunate in that regard of working with somebody who was flexible and open. And I think we both brought that to the table. And you can only win in that kind of a situation. When you work with people, there has to be a certain level of respect for the other person's expertise and what they bring to the table. And when people are overly married to their original concepts or their own ideas, and listen, we've all been there, we've all done it. As creatives, we can be very stuck in our ways. My husband and I write music together, and often there'll be, battles of, well, I think it should be this, but we always, will come together in terms of the greater good, let's say. So yeah, I think the more you're able to listen to the other person and try things, because here's the deal. You don't lose anything by trying different ideas. You lose by not trying. You lose by not hearing the other person's perspective. So the more open we can be, the better off our project will be.
Speaking of the visual effects and animation, let's talk about the origins of that, because in your stage play, clearly there were no animations or visual effects on stage. What motivated the idea to add animation to the film when the original didn't have that?
There were a few places in the film where we just wanted some extra pop and to help a scene along, or to just add a little more humor to it, or just something to take you out of reality a little bit. While it is a musical, and it is based on the realities that kids deal with, I also wanted some magic, particularly for the musical numbers, to take you a little bit out of your daily life, out of the reality that these kids are in school. And then we would go back and with the dialogue. So adding a little touch of animation here and there. It's a New York film. So Deb, our producer, one of our producers, she had this image of just adding a pizza rat dragging the slice of pizza, which is so, something that is very New York, and also has, I think, people now know because the original footage of this rat dragging pizza went viral. But even that little touch in a moment where we're basically saying, nothing is really normal anymore, and we see this rat dragging a slice of pizza, things like that just appeal to my sense of humor. I'm very much a comedy writer, and anywhere I can add something fun like that, it was just hard to resist.
Before I let you go, what's next? Is there going to be a sequel?
That's so funny, because it's funny that you asked that, because the cast are constantly on me about, you should do a sequel and here's what should happen. And it's like they could write it. I don't know about a sequel. I do have other projects that I'm working on and thinking about. I feel still very married to this one right now, and wanting to see it through. And seeing it through means, getting it sold, and, feeling like, it's like sending your baby off to college. So I would really like to see that happen. But my genre is really, coming of age stories, young people. I love working with young people. I love that time period in life where you're transitioning from adolescence to adulthood, because there's just so much in there, and everything is larger than life. Everything is so meaningful. So that's really a genre that I love writing for. I love comedy. I love music. These are always going to be the things that inform the work that I do. So you can look forward to more of that from me.
Well, no matter what it is, whether it's a musical or not, or a sequel or an original, I think we can agree it's going to be fully animated, right?
I am so down. Listen, whoever's listening out there, if somebody wants to help fund something fully animated, we could change the world. Really, I believe that. So
This is when we launched the Kickstarter campaign, right?
right. We don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be a game changer.
But you can start donating now.
Right.
Thank you so much, Ivy. This has been a blast, and I really appreciate your time.
So great to talk to you always.
Thanks so much for watching, and if you want to save both time and money on your VFX in post-production, make sure to subscribe right up there, and click over there to check out the next video. I've been Jake, and remember to always reframe what's possible.